Hello friends, my name is Edgar Olivo. This is Energize Your Business. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a special program for you. We're going to be talking to Kathy Cano-Murillo, the Crafty Chica. She's got an amazing business where she shares her knowledge not only with up-and-coming entrepreneurs in social media and in blogging, but she also has the most creative talent and just vision for everything that she does, embracing our Latino culture, which is why I love her so much. And of course, she's the most amazing super soul that you will ever meet, and I cannot wait for us to talk and for you to enjoy the conversation we're about to have. She's also going to be sharing with us some ideas and some tips for us professionals who are wanting to put out a polished brand on social media. She's going to give us some tips around that, so stay tuned for this. Kathy, it is so great to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here. I love it. I love your studio
Thank
space.
you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, we were having a conversation before recording, and I love that, you know, you said, let's do this, right? Let's just get out there and let's just pick up where we left off. But, you know, this show really, the guests that I bring on have such amazing journeys, and I know for all of our viewers who are watching, they're also thinking about success, and they're thinking about what is it going to require from me to develop, you know, to achieve that success. And, you know, we all have a story. We all have something that pushed us here. This morning, in fact, I was thinking about something, and this will jump right into it because I want to hear more about you. You know, self-motivation, I think, is one of the most important things in order for us to accomplish what we want to accomplish. And there are 3 questions that in this TED Talk that I was watching while I was on my elliptical trying to get my mind straight for the day. He said there are 3 questions you have to ask yourself. The first one is, can you do it? Can you visualize yourself doing it, right? And once you've visualized it, you've already kind of started the process of the self-motivation. And then the second question he said was, do you have what you need to get that done? And then the third question is, why does it matter? Those are big questions to ask, you know, especially in the morning when you're asking yourself to get, okay, those are big questions. Kathy, how do you keep yourself self-motivated? I'm really curious about what's your process. How do you get into the day?
Well, I just look at it as creative motivation. And that's kind of has been like my vibe this year so far, is to be motivated from a place that inspires me to inspire other people, as opposed to motivation of I'll show them or I'm going to be rich, or you know, I really want to feel good with it in myself. And knowing that if I don't do these things, they won't get done.
That's right. Who else is going to do them?
No one else is going to do them. And it also motivates me to, I do always have end goals, like big picture end goals of like that book on the bestseller shelf at the bookstore, that kind of thing. So then I'll work backwards and say, what do I need to do to get there? And do
reverse
I need to
engineer.
hire? Yes, reverse engineer it. Do I need to hire someone for production with my art business? Do I need to, you know, stop doing this, stop doing that? And so I really will, if I come up to a place where I'm stuck, I'll journal it out and do like a time journal of how I'm spending my time, even what I'm thinking about.
That's good.
Because I feel like that's a good part of what, you know, steals your energy.
The self-dialogue, right?
Yes.
It's amazing how we can ourselves
self-sabotage,
point ourselves in the other direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I do a lot of that. So, you know, in the morning I wake up and I have my to-do list that I wrote the night before, and it feels so good to cross those things off the list. So that's how I stay motivated every day. I have my to-do list for the whole year, even for 5 years, and then I drill it down to where I have it for each quarter of the year, and then each month how I'm going to accomplish things, and every night. It sounds like a lot of work, but it really isn't. It actually saves time.
Exactly, right? It's that moment to think and reflect for yourself the things that you're wanting to accomplish. When we don't do that, right, we're kind of pulled all over the place.
Right.
When we don't reflect on where we want to go or where we're at.
Or if you're like a hyper creative, like I am totally a hyper creative, so I'll come up with all these ideas. And there was a period in my life to where I would try to do all of them at the same time, and I wouldn't finish any of them, and I would get bummed.
I can relate to that.
Now what I do is I schedule them throughout the year. So we have 4 quarters to the year, and I'll say, say, okay, these two ideas, I'm going to move this to spring because that's going to be a good time. My schedule is better during that time. And that way, as I'm working on the things that I'm working on now, they're just kind of percolating. And I can like have a notebook where I can put ideas in there. So when I'm ready, I can go hard. But not only scheduling it for spring, but I will actually look at each task and say, okay, I'm going to give this a month, and in that month I'm gonna, I really break it down because I'm the only one of my business. So I have to really
create
be
your own
specific
structure
with my time.
And I love my artist friends. Lord knows I have a lot of artist friends. I collect a lot of art, and and I've taught a lot of business programs, which is very much about structure and schedules and goals and all these sort of things. And artists, I have found, because they're in their creative energy, right, that pulling them out of that just to get structure is kind of a challenge. It's hard, right?
It is.
So what advice would you give someone who's creative and wants to...
I go there too. I call it productive procrastination.
And PP.
Yes. And sometimes when I notice that if I'm scared to take on a challenge, I'll go in the art room and I'll make, I just went through 25 pounds of clay.
Wow.
And I made all these things and I'm like, what does this say about my life? I did that because I was afraid to go sit on the computer and write pitch letters for an idea that I had for so I was able to get it done and say, okay, I'm done. I need to go do
to
this
the
other
next
thing
task.
now. So it is a process, but it's good to recognize, am I doing this, what is the purpose of me making this thing right now? Is it for an order? Is it for something I'm going to sell? Is it to burn energy?
Ask yourself first.
And as with anything, whether if you're posting on social media or creating a new painting, what's your intention for it? And where does it fit into your timeline of responsibilities if you're a business person? If this is your business, you have to work both sides of being creative and analytical.
Wow. There's a lot of notes you should be taking right now because Kathy is sharing so many great insights into her day-to-day practice and habits, because you have a very successful business, but that's not an overnight thing. I'm sure there is a story behind this success that you have and all the things that are coming your way.
It's like a story that is always evolving. And it's always, it goes up and down, but I prepare for the long run. I've always known, when my husband and I got married, 1990 on our wedding night, we're like, let's make a living of art, music, and writing.
Wow.
And here it is 28 years later, and we're still doing it.
What a beautiful way to start.
Incorporate other things? Whenever it's necessary. But we just kind of set our intention and manifested that life. And we started making things because I noticed that in mass retail, when you would go to the store, there was nothing reflecting our Latino culture. And if you went, there was cheap imports or ultra fine art, way
expensive,
nothing in the middle.
People, no everyday person cannot afford.
Yes, and I just wanted loteria pillows for my house.
How cute!
So we started making those home decor items. And two sales reps picked us up, and within months we had 300 orders from stores like Urban Outfitters, Hallmark, Bloomingdale's, and we were in our house making dozens and dozens of these. That's not what we had thought it would turn into. We hadn't planned it out.
That's amazing.
So that's a business strategy is that are you ready for what you're asking for? Because I was like, I want to be in this store and that store. Well, I got my wish, but then I was sitting down crying, having to make dozens of ornaments or whatever it happened to be. And so we had to stop that and let go of those accounts. And that's when I went to work at the newspaper. And because this is tip number 2.
Write them down.
Art, music, and writing. I'm like, okay, art, we need to, refigure that out. What is the next thing? Writing. I was on newspaper staff, yearbook staff, all of that. So I went into the Arizona Republic. If I was going to go to work at a 9 to 5, I wanted it to be in a job that I loved, at a company that I always adored. And I started in the basement in the tear sheet room worked my way into the features newsroom, and they asked me to do a craft column because they all had purchased our pieces at different stores. And, you know, at the time, Martha Stewart, her brand was big, and everything was taupe or baby blue or that. And I couldn't do those colors. And so I had a choice as I was doing this newspaper column. Could I stay true to who I was as an artist, or would I try to change it to fit what was happening?
That's a big question to ask yourself.
You know, what I did was I thought, I have to be true to me, but I can dial it back a little to make it not
flexibility,
not like Latino style, but still bright colors, happy style. And I took a chance. That's like tip number 3 is believe in yourself, that you are worthy, and that people will be receptive.
That's right.
And I started putting out these craft columns. They were all centered around empowerment and motivation, lots of color and glitter as a metaphor. And it got picked up by Gannett News Service.
Wow.
And it started running in hundreds of newspapers all around the country. And I started my website, craftychica.com, working full-time at the paper. At nighttime, while the kids were in bed and my husband was in bed, I did my blog, and that took off. And that, you know, because I was consistent. Tip number 4: be consistent. Key word. Be consistent with, you know, working on your passion project. Follow through. Always pretend you're making $1 million.
That's right. I keep a check written to myself in my wallet, telling myself that money is just.
Even like, if it's a project I'm doing where I'm not getting paid, I still pretend like I'm getting paid $1 million. Like, I want it to be high quality. And and then whether if it's $1 million or $5, they all get the same TLC.
Set the standard for yourself.
Right. And, you know, by 2008, 2007, I got my offer to launched my own Crafty Chica product line for Michael's stores through a manufacturer company. And I was able to leave the newspaper, and that was so difficult.
That's a big move.
I come from, you know, my parents were like, you find one job, one
Stick
company,
to it.
you stay there until you retire. And I thought I was making them so proud that, hey, I could do what I love to do and do this. But there were some things at the paper, red flags, where I'm like, I don't love this anymore. And I think the tip number 5 is you really have to love what you're going into and what you spend your time on.
100% agree.
Otherwise, it's empty calories.
That's it.
And, you know, you have to love it enough to take that chance. And, you know, I ended up leaving the paper and, you know, being a spokesperson for this company. And that was a nice ride. I think I did that 8 or 9 years. But again, at that 8 or 9 year mark, I started losing the love for it, where I thought, I know I'm meant for something else. And I left. I parted ways on good terms. I still work with them and everything. But I took that leap just to be a full-time blogger and teacher and speaker. And I mean, there were rocky moments. It was really scary that first year in 2015. I was like, am I going to be able to do this? I used every resource I could. But you know what? You push through and you have your strategies, and it's like it comes through.
It comes through.
So it's been an amazing ride. I mean, I have my 10th book coming out. It comes out this July. I have 5 product lines. I have a new national product line coming out this fall.
Oh, amazing.
And then doing speaking and my blogging, and we have a store, Mucho Mas Art Studio in Central Phoenix, so we teach workshops. So I feel like I'm living my best creative life. Being a creative, you have to have different avenues of income. That's the trick.
I agree, and you said something very important. Through all of the things that you've been sharing about your journey, there's this one common thread that I'm gonna recognize. I know there's something better for me. I know there's something better for me. I know there's something better, and the love for what you do. I feel almost it's seasonal too, right? I mean, it's like seasons, and you open yourself up for the new season, and it's embracing change, which is another thing that we were talking about earlier.
Even if it's scary, scary change is the best kind of change.
It is, yeah. Well, I mean, if we just reflect on our upbringing, you know, thinking about
scary change combined with haters.
Yeah. Well, the
That
worry
could, like,
about others'
yes.
thoughts and
Or because
opinions.
there's always people who will say you're doing it wrong,
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
or critique it.
Yep.
And then if you let your self-doubt
Yeah.
get in with that,
Yeah.
that will hold you back.
Yeah.
So I look at it like a glitter bubble.
Yeah.
Of like
A glitter
stay
bubble, I love
strong.
that.
Nothing will penetrate this. Stay focused.
That's wonderful.
So,
That's such a great way to look at it. One of the things that I've recognized myself, that if I hear this in someone else, I'm going to tune out, because it's a way of someone else telling you their limitations. When someone says to me, we should probably be realistic. Let's be realistic. The numbers, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, that is reality for me.
Yeah.
If that's not reality for you, you're
Right,
just telling me your
right.
limitations.
Yeah.
And I'm careful. And there's times to be realistic. I get it, but those are the times for change. That's when you
Yeah.
need to make the change. When I think about my upbringing, and when I think about all the changes that my family has been through, and what I'm going through, one of the things that you and I were kind of sharing earlier was that change is hard, right? Change is hard. So how would you recommend somebody to embrace change? How do you embrace change? How do you
Well,
talk to yourself when you're going through change?
I think it helps to really sit down and write down the changes that need to happen
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah.
You need to recognize them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the hardest
Yeah.
ones to say out loud or
Yeah.
to write down.
Yeah.
But write down where you're lacking,
Yeah.
what you need to be better. Stop
Yeah.
hiding it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to speak it to the world.
Yeah.
Speak it to yourself.
Self. That's right. Yeah.
And whether if it's finances or relationships or whatever the area is, and then write down how you would normally handle that situation,
Yeah.
and write down how you wish you would handle
Right.
that situation.
Right.
What kind of outcome that you want.
That's it.
Because if you determine the outcome that you want, it makes it easier to make those changes.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to get that outcome
Right.
where you are right now.
And if we're so hyper-focused on the problem, we're not focusing on the solution.
Exactly.
So another Kathy's tip is focus on the solution. Think about what
really
the outcome
think of the
is.
end goal and how it's going to be better for your life, how
Yeah.
it's going to serve your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes those changes are with people in our
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
My friend Cano-Murillo, remember you had met her from Google.
Yeah.
She has this thing where she says you want to be you are the sum of the five people who you spend the most time
Right.
with.
I agree.
So she thought, well, instead of just saying, okay, these are my 5 people,
Yeah.
she's like, I'm going to go spend time with my favorite 5 people.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
because I want to
Yeah.
be a sum
Like
of
them.
those people.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that really moved me a lot, because instead of settling for being around people
Yeah.
who bring you down or
Yeah.
who are negative
Right.
or,
Yeah. Telling you to be realistic.
yeah, telling you to be realistic or whatever, choose those 5 people
Yeah.
who are like-minded.
And they're pushing you up.
And push you up so you can help each other push up.
I agree.
And that it's always good to have that support.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think now we're in such a delicate place because there's a lot of like anxiety.
There is.
And self-love, like all of that movement going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also like my generation where my parents were like, suck it up. You know?
Nothing new here.
Yeah, but with my kids, when they were telling me, like, oh, I'm dealing with,
Yeah.
issues with anxiety.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, get out of here. No, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Just get it done. It
Yeah,
needs to be done,
right,
and
yeah.
I push through and this and that.
Ah, interesting.
But I've learned through them
Yeah.
that it is a thing, or my daughter will tell me, like,
Yeah.
Mom, you have anxiety too, but you
Yeah.
refuse to recognize it. Like, it's
Wow.
healthier to
talk
sit
about
back
it.
and look at it and talk about it instead of pushing it down.
Talk it out to work it out.
Yes, and that really helps. So I think another way to embrace change is to keep an open mind.
Yes.
That you can learn
Yes.
from anyone, from
Yes.
any age. People can teach us
Yeah.
and give us lessons.
Yeah.
So you really have to be humble and open your mind.
Yeah.
And know that, you know what, I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
but I'm capable to be better.
That's right. I love it. I love it. And that's wonderful advice. Shout out to your daughter too. I'm a huge
Thank
fan,
you.
by the way. I love everything
Oh,
that you're putting out.
thank you.
It's just that you're adding this flavor to our culture that I feel was missing. I feel like you're modernizing a lot of the things that we embraced as little kids, and now making them relevant, and you're putting them in your projects and your crafts, and now your daughter and your family and everyone is also kind of just bringing us along for the ride, which is exciting and fun. That's not an easy thing to do. You know,
I know.
I don't think it's easy.
There's
There's so much.
Our culture and community is so widespread. I mean, I'm third generation Mexican American, pocha, total pocha. And my Spanish is horrible, and I'm embracing that there is an audience that's like that too. But I still love my culture so much. I've been to Mexico 2 times in the past couple months. I'm embracing and learning, and I've learned that there is a group of people out there who are the same way, and it doesn't make us any less. It, we're part
Makes
of
us
the
more.
story as well.
Yes.
And I noticed in the stores and just everywhere that we weren't being represented, and I thought, well, I'm going to show people how to make their own items for their own house to celebrate their culture, and they learn these awesome skills as well.
It's so important. I mean, what you're doing through your work, I feel like I do it in a way too, through bilingual education, business education. If I can help others be more structured, right, and have the skills to stay focused and create goals, and that, in a way, it's like us moving the pendulum back into the glory days, right? For all of us, not just the Hispanic community, but anyone who feels less than, right? And we just want to say, embrace it. Embrace this who you are.
What are you good at?
Yes.
Finding what are your gifts? What are you good at? And go from there.
I love it.
That is like the biggest thing that, a lot of, it's easier just to say, I don't have anything, I suck, I'm not good at anything.
So easy.
That is kind of a cop-out.
Yeah, it is.
We all have super skills.
I've talked this, I've used this example in a lot of things that I do. And it's, when God, I'm not religious, by the way. I grew up Catholic, but I am not religious now in this point in my life. I feel more spiritual.
Yes.
And I feel more connected. There is definitely a higher energy out there that I can't explain, and no one else has been able to explain for me, but it's there, it's present, you tap into that. And that's kind of like your inner voice. And when I think about people who have so many talents and so many things that they want to do, there was this example that was given to me in a seminar, and it said, when God was giving out all these colors, you got a blue color, you got a red color, you got the rainbow, right? And each color represents talents and skills. Everyone was born with something. Some of us just know how to tap into that more openly, right? What would you tell to that person? Hey, there is something in you. How do we get it out?
I would say the first thing is stop with the negative talk.
It's not helping.
Right. And I always like to say, whatever your thoughts are, they're like little speech bubbles above your head. They're your hashtags of life. So change those hashtags of the words you are constantly saying. And come up with some positive things. As you go through your day, take note of the things that make you happy. Like, where are you happiest? Is it, working with people? Is it volunteering? Is it making things? Is it drinking coffee? Is it, what are the things? There is a business for it.
There is. There's a way to make a living.
There is. And so look at it that way and think of the benefits of it that it will bring you and your family. Because the second you stop with the negative talk and open it up to, things that you can do and what you're good at, it's really exciting.
It's like the universe has been waiting for you to
and
realize
it's
this.
Work.
It is.
It takes work. Nowadays, people look at social media and they go, "Oh my God, social media!" I love social media because it is a whole access to new people.
That's it.
To see what I'm doing. To make my craft projects or to share a good book that I just read or just to connect. And I feel like social media is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. There's a lot of business models that you can work through with it or none if you just want to go and get inspired for yourself. It's whatever you want it to be. But using that as a plus in what you want to do to connect with people.
Cool. Well, that's a great segue. We're going to be coming right back. So I'm going to run a couple of short little announcements about our programs. I want you to see what we do over at Compass CBS. When we come back, we are going to be talking to Kathy about social media and how to lift our brand. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Hi, my name is Edgar Olivo. I'm the founder and senior business trainer of CBS. Today I want to give you 5 reasons why you should take Microsoft courses with us. Over 80% of companies are now using Microsoft and require it as a skill. You'll be more productive and produce better results for your clients. You'll earn more money over the span of your career. You'll work faster and improve your quality of work. And it opens door to many more possibilities. We have highly trained and certified bilingual experts ready to help you achieve your professional goals. Call us at 602-759-0553 or register on our website. See you at CBS. All right, we're back. Here we are with Kathy, where she's talking to us about how to change that mindset and start tapping into the creativity that is born within everyone. Everyone has this. And sometimes what happens is either the self-negative talk is what's going to hold us back. It's the not having goals or the vision of where you want to go.
Or thinking you need to be rich.
Thinking you need to have
exactly.
Something. I think that's also another limiting belief. All these things that get in the way. But now for those of us who are working in this, creative energy, I would say, and now putting out our content and putting out our best selves, let's talk to those folks who are now wanting to become influencers, because there's a lot of people that I know also have come to our classes and to your classes as well, that have a voice, that have something they want to say, and are now using it to either represent brands and embedding them in a cultural context. Some of them are using to just spread their own message and be evangelists of a certain cause. I remember that one that stood out to me was the no trash. What is it? The zero trash.
Yes.
What was that? Yeah. Where
zero waste.
Zero waste. That's it. And I remember, and I was caught. It was because she lives her life, right? Zero waste. Everything's recyclable. This is why I even got these little cups, because I just hated throwing cups away. And I think we were hosting your blogger's graduation, and we had wine and all the fun stuff, but we were putting out plastic cups, and she asked if we had any glass cups or containers, and we didn't. And I thought, oh, learning moment for me right there. I care about the planet, but get called out. That's good. That's good.
That is a big movement right now, too.
It is. So, you're coaching and you're training a lot of folks to put out their best side, their best message, and doing it in a responsible way. What are some of the things that you would like to share that you feel is most important?
So I think that each platform is its own entity. You can't lump them all together.
Okay.
They're all a different party, different group of people, different vibe. So you have to look at each one and say, what can I bring to the table? So that's the first thing, is knowing what you want to do in there. What is your dish that you're bringing to the party? Number 2, be clear about what it is that you do and what you want from people who see your content. Do you want them to buy your product? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to go to your store? Do you just want them to look at your pictures of you?
Just admire.
Journey, know what you want out of it. When you do those descriptions for each platform, make sure you are concise with what your business is about. So, crafts, DIY, books. It could be, zero waste lifestyle. It could be a store for modern Latinas, accessories for, really
very
sum
specific.
up that tight sentence. Make sure that you put where you're located. Make sure you can use hashtags in those descriptions.
Hashtags are king, right?
So
they're very important.
And as you go through your content and you're posting it, what do you want from each picture? What do you want people to do? So if you want them to buy a t-shirt, you would say, here's our latest design. You can buy a t-shirt at our store. A friend of mine, she has beautiful t-shirts, and she was shy about putting her call to action. And she was just showing all these gorgeous girls in her gorgeous t-shirts, but we didn't. When you look at it, it was like, okay, she's empowering us, or, oh, that girl is pretty. What you want people to say is, I need that t-shirt. Here's the link. I need to buy that. That's what we do as business people. People expect it. When they go online, everything's buy this, buy that. So don't be shy about selling what it is that you want people to buy. And another thing is not to be concerned about follower counts. Do be concerned about engagement.
Yes.
Because what will happen is if you have good content and it's called the scroll stop. Especially on Instagram, you want to have people to stop and look at it. You want them to click. Even on Facebook too. You want them to engage.
Yes.
The second that you get them to engage, then it opens up to more people to see it. If the more people engage, more people see it.
That's the important thing.
So don't just go through blindly and post just because you think you have to post. If there's no call to action, a bad description, no keywords, no hashtags in a picture, it's white noise.
It's white noise.
It's just white noise.
It's white noise, and you really want to send out.
Your time is valuable.
It's right.
So, and on the other spectrum, don't get so overwhelmed of like, I need the perfect picture of the bird. It's just what I'll save up pictures in a folder, or I'll have them on my phone, and then I can go through. You can repost other things, and make sure you use, credit the original person.
That's important.
So there's a lot of creative ways that you can use it and have fun with it.
Yes.
That's engage with other people. Leave comments on other people. Follow your favorite hashtags. One tip with Instagram, and this I learned last year. I was at Instagram headquarters, and we got coaching from them. You don't focus on any one tool. On Instagram, think of it like a gym. You want every tool is a different station at the gym.
Okay.
So there's stories, hashtags, location tags, keywords. The ultimate goal that they told us was to have your content on the Explore page for your followers.
Okay.
So how do you get your content on the Explore page? That comes from, getting engagement, having good keywords, just keywords in your description, your hashtags.
So the description and the hashtags are treated separately.
Yes, they all are a piece of the pie.
Okay.
And they're all a brick in the house.
Okay.
Instagram stories is another brick in the house. And then location tags. On everything, use location tags, because what happens with location tags is that other places will pick it up and run it.
Okay.
So like the city of Phoenix. It's so exciting to say your story was featured on the city of Phoenix story.
I've seen that happen on some of my posts. I'm like, what is this?
That's good. That means you're doing it right. And Instagram TV too. So same thing with Facebook. Go to Facebook Business. They have a free course that will walk you through. Make sure if you have a business page, you're utilizing the video that you can use as your cover photo. Update your about section every 6 months. Go in, tweak it, because we know we change our strategy. Our
it's always
branding,
evolving.
All of that. Go in and connect with your followers, answer your messages right away. All these little things, they add up to a lot. That's what will open it for more people to see it. And take advantage of the ads.
Right.
I love the ads. I know people complain about them a lot, but it's already a free service. Right? And I can go in to Facebook for a campaign or for an event, and I can put in the zip codes that I want for a workshop, and
it'll put it right there for you.
Yes, and I get the sign up. So it is definitely. And I will say, we were just my Mucho Mas store that I co-own. We were just picked as a Facebook business success story, and so we're featured on the Facebook business page because I use all their tools.
Oh, I love it!
And they noticed. They really
great.
watch what we do, and so they did a whole feature saying, what we did to get those kinds of success rates.
Wow! I hope you're taking notes, because Kathy is giving us all of the secret sauce information coming directly from the organizations themselves, and of course she's applying them and doing all these amazing things on social media. I was looking at your notebook there. What does it say?
Oh, so this is a book. You're doing great. You're doing great, mija.
You're doing great, mija. I love that.
Hija tu madre on Instagram.
Oh, I love that.
And she sent me a box of goodies. She has all Latinx products, and I made a mug for her, and it says "Making Jefa Moves."
Oh, I love it, like boss moves.
Yes, and so I'm going to send that out to her.
Oh, I love that.
That's what I love, is you're collaborating with other.
So I love all of these tips and ideas that you're giving us to get our brand up and going. Once you're interacting with other professionals on social media, what do you think are some of those etiquette things that we should be thinking about? Because there's some. I think, there's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. And so how do we interact with our social colleagues, right?
Yes.
But then at the same time not forget that there is a social experience that we also need to have. What do you think about that?
So there's so many different ways that you can interact with others. The main thing is you remember you're presenting your brand, you're presenting who you are.
Yeah.
You want to have good grammar.
Yes.
You know, if especially there's some that can be casual if you're being playful or whatever. But if it's for a campaign that you're working on, or you want to impress with your, you're at an event, make sure your punctuation, grammar is make sure your links, your tagging, that you tag the right company. All of those little things matter, and make sure you do, tag other people and put the location tag. That's the best way to build relationships. Is people get excited
that you tag their place.
Yes, and if you meet someone and you post something and don't tag them, then they're like,
excuse me.
Like, okay, it's a form of etiquette now. And it's just a fun way to connect.
I've had the challenge when I meet folks and I'll take a selfie and I want to post it, that I won't find their handle to tag them. And so what I use is their name as a hashtag.
Yes, I'll just give them my phone and say, enter in your...
Put it in here.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
It for me.
That's a good piece of advice.
And another thing, like, yes, you want it to be polished and look good, but at the same time, you don't want it to be ultimate, like, oh, my life is so perfect.
Yeah.
Be sure to share those moments or your stories of, when you overcame a struggle, or the way you fixed a problem, or if you had a bad day, or how you worked through it, because those are all relatable things. Yeah,
and
so
at the end of the day, that's it, right? It's relating to the human experience, and if you can do it through your social media channels, it tends to create more of a genuine connection, right?
Yes.
People tend to engage more authentically with you.
Yeah. And people are like, you know what? I thank you for sharing that story. And I mean, I share those on my Instagram stories, is kind of like the behind the scenes. And then my Instagram is like, oh, here's the finished picture. But stories is a great way to work through that. And also you can do Follow Friday, so you can tag other people. Here are some people I met this week. There's Woman Crush Wednesday, Man Crush Monday, Motivation Monday. There's all these different movements. Mugshot Monday, where you show your coffee mug. So there's all different kinds of
I was thinking
of
a different mugshot.
We're flipping the mugshot. So there's a lot of different ways that you can have fun with it. So what I did on my birthday, I got a $50 Starbucks card. Okay. And I took a picture of it. And I told my Instagram story people, I said, it's my birthday, but I want to share it with all of you.
Oh, that's nice.
So I have this $50. This next story, take a screenshot, and everyone get one drink. Yeah. And then tag me so I can see what kind of drink that you got. It was the best day ever.
So
because
cool.
I was getting all these stories back. Thanks, Crafty Chica. Thanks, Crafty Chica. Just finished.
So you posted the coupon link or the gift card, and they used it.
Digital thing, and they could screenshot it. So then they could go into Starbucks and
pay with their phone.
It. And everyone was they all got one drink, and they were so excited. And it just,
what a creative idea.
It was just like the best feeling to be able to share that. Maybe you can't afford to do a $50 gift card,
but it's a great idea.
You know what? Maybe
gift to get.
A $10 gift card. Like, here, I'm going to buy someone coffee. But it was just like a fun thing to do. So there's all kinds of, and giveaways are good, or you can trade with other people. Mark Montano is another Latino designer. He's in LA. One time we did an Instagram exchange where he posted one of my projects and I posted one of his, and then we exchanged followers. So there's so many fun things you can do. The main thing is have fun with it. This is your business. You're supposed to love your business, love what you're doing. So doing social media, find a way to fall in love with it. I love because it gets more people to take part in your party of doing what you love.
Now, do you set business hours for yourself? Do you look at a schedule when you're posting, or do you just organically post when you feel inspired?
I'm very organic with it. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a lot of schedules for Facebook. I'll sit down on Sunday nights and pre-schedule content so I have like a new post.
So you do plan
morning.
out a little bit in advance. Okay.
And I use Tailwind for Pinterest. So I like schedule out hundreds of pins for the next few months because Pinterest takes like, I don't know, 30, 45 days for you to get back what you pin.
Okay.
So I always stay ahead of that. Again,
Okay.
Sunday nights.
Yeah.
So Sunday nights I have like a 3-hour block that I
Okay.
use to pre-schedule
I
my
like it.
tweets, pre-schedule Facebook posts, pre-schedule Tailwind.
Do you plan out a month in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 1 week in
No,
advance?
usually
How do
like a week.
you look at the
and
week
a half.
ahead.
Yeah. Facebook,
I think that's a good routine.
Yeah. Facebook is usually like 10 to 12 days.
Yeah, yeah. I was listening to a financial coach who was saying that people tend to have troubles with finances because they can't project out a month. That just our natural tendency is to project out maybe 2 weeks that we
Yeah.
don't. So I like that you do these micro
Right.
time management skill,
Yeah.
abilities to organize yourself and still have a flow.
Exactly.
Still have a flow,
yeah.
which is very important.
Instagram is just super organic.
Yeah.
If any of them stress me out, it's probably Instagram a little bit, just because it's the game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, but I don't let. I'm like, this is fun. I'm supposed to be having fun. If I'm not having fun, I will step away from
Yeah.
it and
Yeah.
just. It's no big deal. It's just
Yeah.
a social app. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
It's not,
Right. That's
the
it.
be all end all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
release that pressure.
I love that. I love that. So, Kathy, what final tip would you like to share to our listeners? I hope you've been writing as fast as all these tips are coming at you, because these are amazing, and I'm so glad that we're recording this too, because we get to
yes,
share
thank
this
you
with
for
all of our
having
friends.
me.
What would be something you'd like to share?
So I would say right now we're in January, but really anytime you watch this is a new year, the next day is a new year. Pick 3 goals, big goals that you want to do this year. And get a little book like this, get some little tabs, and put it in there and what it's going to take. Make an action list, a to-do list for those goals, and attach a time to it.
That's it. That's
So
it.
goal 1 is going to be for this part of the year. Goal 2 is going to be for this part of the year. And if you're going to connect with someone or ask for help, which is perfectly fine, what can you offer in return?
Yeah.
So can I, meet you for a cup of coffee kind of thing? Just think, okay, what can I offer in return?
Yeah.
Like, how can it be a win-win-win for
Yeah.
all of us?
Yeah.
For the people you're creating
That's
content
it.
for, or buying your product for you and for the other party. And
I love
you'll
it.
be surprised at how long your list will be.
I love it.
And you know what? Start working on it. Think
That's
of
it.
what you can take out of your life. Like we did 3 goals. Okay, so how about make a list of 3 things you can do without this year?
Right.
Even if it is.
How do we subtract some things?
Yes. What are the
It's
things
adding
that
and
you can
subtracting.
subtract? Is it Marie Kondo where you're cleaning out your closet? Is it cleaning out the closet in your mind of like the negative things? Is it, spending too much time watching TV or being on Facebook?
Right.
So 3 things you want to accomplish for
Yeah.
the year, big things, 3 things you want to take out of the year.
Awesome. So where can we find more information?
Okay, you can go to craftychica.com. I have everything there, and all my articles are posted there.
Awesome.
I'm all over internet. The internet is as Crafty
Just
Chica.
type in Crafty Chica. You
Yeah,
will find
at Crafty
everything.
Chica,
And I'll make sure to
yes.
put all the information here for you
Yeah.
as well. Kathy, it's such a wonderful conversation. Thank you so
Thank
much for being on
you.
our
I'm so
on our
honored to
second
be
program here.
Thank
We're kicking off our
you.
English series, but bringing in Latino professionals.
I'm so glad you're
I
doing
love it.
this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
you.
And there you have it, a wonderful conversation with Kathy Cano-Murillo of Crafty Chica. All you have to do is just Google her name, find her on social media, connect with her. She's got amazing stories, and of course her energy will keep you just so inspired throughout the day. I know I follow her, and she every now and then gives me a little heart, and I just get so excited throughout the day. Make sure you follow our program. Share this with as many people as possible, because I want people to hear all the great strategies that Kathy was sharing with us today to get them motivated, inspired. If they have that idea and they're not tapping into that creativity, this is the video where we talk about that. So make sure you share and like. And, of course, I'm right behind the keyboard watching this video with you. Yes, they are pre-recorded, but, send me your questions, send me your comments, anything that I could probably answer, I'll do it right then and there. If you need me to connect you with Kathy, I'll do that as well. So stay tuned for our next program. Every week we do this where we share leadership journeys of all of my amazing friends and colleagues and business leaders in the community. Thank you so much for joining us.